All right, can everybody hear me okay back there? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to begin this press conference. It should take roughly less than an hour here today. We have some great speakers. I just want to make sure. I'd like to begin by welcoming all the attendees, our media, and also our sports legends to the great city of Brook Park. Today marks a unique and special day for the great city of Brook Park. Over the past several weeks, I have had the opportunity to meet with a great organization and foundation to discuss the opportunity for Brook Park to be the home of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Through all of our discussions and planning for the opportunity to build a partnership between Brook Park and the National High School Football Hall of Fame, we did more than form a partnership. We built a friendship. At this time, I'd like to thank the Foundation's CEO and founder, Lamont Robinson, for his brilliant vision and passion for America's new pastime and recognizing the importance of high school football as the foundation for players to exceed to the next level. And as the mayor of Brook Park, I have the distinct honor to announce that Brook Park, Ohio is now the home of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Beginning in the summer of 2026, Brook Park will host our very first induction ceremony on July 11th. My goal is to work with Brook Park City Council, who is here with us today out in front, welcome, to designate an area on our city's municipal campus, an area in which the National High School Football Hall of Fame Foundation can build their permanent home. Brook Park has been setting many great trends for decades. We are home of one of 10 NASA bases in the United States. We generate the technology right here in Brook Park to get that space shuttle into space. We have the largest Ford motor manufacturing plant in North America, producing just under 800,000 motors annually. Brook Park currently is working extremely hard in building a world-class NFL Dome football stadium right here in Brook Park. Today's announcement adds to Brook Park's vision of creating a destination and gateway to Northeast Ohio. As the mayor, I speak for our community in welcoming the National High School Football Hall of Fame Foundation. We are excited, we are thrilled, and we are honored. At this time, I would like to introduce today's Master of Ceremonies, David Jingo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Dave Jingo, and I'm Vice President of Operations for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. On behalf of the National High School Football Hall of Fame, I would like to say thank you to Mayor O'Cutt and the City of Brook Park for welcoming us. We are really excited and honored to be here. Before I get started, I'm going to play a short video. So sit back and enjoy, and be back in a couple minutes.
Houston has the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Atlanta, the College Football Hall of Fame. And now, coming to the beautiful city of Brook Park in Ohio, the National High School Football Hall of Fame. A 40,000 square foot state-of-the-art interactive experience dedicated to the legends who started it all in high school. From legendary quarterback Bernie Kosar and the two-time parade All-American running back Marcus Dupree to the iconic Coach Paul Brown and the future Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes. This is where the journey begins. Since 2023, we have enshrined over 100 inductees, and every year, Brook Park will host the red carpet star-studded Hall of Fame induction weekend. Let's explore our signature attractions, the halls of honor, from high school to the NFL, the quarterback room, the coach's corner, and more. Train like the greats at the Hall of Fame Football Academy. Then grab a bite at the Touchdown Cafe, along with a 500-seat mixed-use theater, plus classrooms and offices. It's not just a Hall of Fame. It's a hub for education, inspiration, and community, bringing over 250,000 visitors annually. The National High School Football Hall of Fame will be one of the world's premier sports destinations, where football legends live forever. 150 years ago, a game began that would unite communities, inspire young athletes, and create a legacy that continues to shape the very fabric of high school sports today.
And it matters to the individual communities that make up the towns and the cities and the villages. And I'll accept that pro football was born here, but high school football lives here. And that's a huge difference, between where you were born and where you live. And it thrives here. It matters to people, not just the participants. It matters to the student body. It matters to the booster clubs. It matters to the communities and the parents and the grandparents. It's important. It matters.
And this weekend, Nate was inducted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, with the red jacket there. That is also home to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Still waiting on that invitation. The high school one honors the legacy of exceptional athletes, coaches, and contributors to high school football while fostering the growth of young talent and inspiring the next generation. And this year, 30 men were inducted.
I stopped playing high school football, over 20 years ago. So to be here and be recognized for my efforts way back in the 90s, it really is special. And to share the stage with some absolute legends, not just the players, the coaches, the legacy that they have left behind. It's pretty cool.
Well, Texas high school football is a different kind of football. I mean, that's a religion in Texas. We won a state championship. We won the first state championship in Sealy High. It was fantastic. I think people ask me about my pro career, my college career, but I say, man, that high school career was great. In those days, sometimes I wish I could go back just for one game.
Growing up in Jeanette and being taught, you hear a lot of these guys, we're talking about their high school and how it sets the foundation. Well, I think high school sets the foundation for, what's to become. It's a ladder of success. Sometimes it could be failure, but I think it sets, who you're going to be and what the type of player, type of person you're going to be starting in high school.
High school football, we talk about it all the time. I think it's the most fun you ever have in your life. You're playing with your buddies. You're playing against schools that you participate. You run track against them. You play basketball against them, the same guys. It's interesting. Almost 1 million young men are playing high school football. 15,000 schools play high school football. And this is other interesting. Of those 15,000, just 6.5% move on to play college football. So high school football is where the action is.
It's the foundation. Fork Union really held you accountable to your daily habits every moment. The time that you woke up to the time that you went to sleep. It was a high standard of excellence. And I learned quickly, if I was going to survive, I needed to get with the program. And that's carried over into my everyday life, and what I've been able to do after the game of football was a huge impact on my life, and I'm so appreciative for that.
It's an honor to be inducted into the inaugural National Football High School Hall of Fame. I had a great experience playing high school football. I got to play with all my friends, that I grew up with. I love my high school coaches. I have a great relationship with a lot of my high school teammates. We still talk about our high school playing days. So it's a great institution, and really honored to be going in with my family in this class, and really appreciate the honor.
It's amazing. There's many high school football players that they've been in this country, and to be in the first class is certainly a huge, huge honor. It's even more of an honor when you look at some of the other folks that are coming in. You know, I think about the name Jim Brown in particular, because Jim Brown was the guy who was my hero when I was growing up.
To be able to go in with people like Jim Brown, Archie Manning, Peyton Manning, even though I know them all my life, their mom is from Philadelphia, Mississippi, which is ironic and good too. But just to be in the first class, there'll never be a first class again. So that's most special to me, and being the first class for the National High School Hall of Fame and being up here in Canton and be able to say, Mama, I made it.
This facility will be the cornerstone of the Hall of Fame, a place where history meets the future, where athletes of all levels find inspiration, and where communities come together to celebrate the spirit of high school football. Together, we can ensure that the next 150 years of high school football are even greater than the last. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's make history together. Canton has the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So I hope that gives you a little idea of what we're about, and I think it demonstrates what it means to our inductees to be in the Hall of Fame, and how the game of high school football affected their careers and their lives. At this time, I'd like to introduce the rest of our team. First and foremost, we have our founder and CEO, basketball legend Lamont Showboat Robinson. Now, Lamont couldn't be here today. This was his vision, this is his dream, and he wanted me to let you know that he is very excited and honored to be here in Brook Park. The rest of our team goes as follows. We have Russell Johnson, who's our president. He's right back there. We have David Brown, Assistant Director and Planning Director. R.J. Van Allman is our Treasurer. He could not be here today. Antonio Hall is our Chairman of the Board. He's trying to get here, but he was out of town and trying to make it here. And hopefully we'll see him soon. At this time, I'd like to thank some folks for helping us get to this point. First, I want to thank the City of Canton. They were instrumental in helping us launch this institution. And our 3 years there and the 3 induction ceremonies we had were fantastic. We're forever indebted to the City of Canton for helping us get started. I also want to thank Tom McDaniels. He's been with us and behind us all along. We also want to thank the Haslam Sports Group and the Cleveland Browns for their continued sponsorship and support of the first 3 ceremonies. And of course, we want to thank Mayor Orcutt and the City of Brook Park for giving us this opportunity to bring the National High School Football Hall of Fame to Brook Park, Ohio. Just so you know a little about what we're planning, we hope to build an up to 40,000 square foot facility. Visitors will be both educated and immersed in the history of the high school football game. We're going to have interactive displays incorporating VR and the latest technology that will highlight our trainees, key events, and games that shape the sport, the rivalries, the historic stadiums, the remarkable records, and much, much more. Additionally, we will curate, store, and display memorabilia, as well as digitize and archive high school football game film, photos, and other media as well. The location is yet to be determined, and we are in the process of formulating the budget. Our purpose is not only to celebrate the past, but also to promote the growth of the game and ensure that it continues to thrive. Our Hall of Fame Academy will feature regional camps designed to develop transformative athletic skills, holistic life skills, and promote character building. We are set to launch the Hall of Fame streaming network Our talented and creative team will generate original content featuring high school football, the Hall of Fame, and our Hall of Fame Academy, resulting in both entertaining and informative viewing experiences. This content will be distributed over our app on various platforms. Additionally, we are planning an all-you-can-eat buffet, so I'm sure all the teams and the kids and families who come here will enjoy that. At this point, I'd like to bring up some more members of our team. Our first speaker is somebody I think you all know. He was a 2023 inductee, part of the inaugural class, and our ambassador, Mr. Bernie Kosar.
Truly honored and humbled to be here today. And as you saw from the video, as Coach McDaniel said, Northeastern Ohio, the birthplace of football, but also the birthplace and high school football lives here. And when you see guys like Lamont Showboat Robinson living in Detroit, Michigan, coming back to Northeastern Ohio, and can't thank the people of Canton enough for what they did in the first 3 years as the interim home for the National High School Hall of Fame. But with what we started there the last few years, and what the National High School Hall of Fame is standing for, and I believe what Lamont really saw in his vision with high school sports, really has been grassroots epitomized by the interest that we had from so many awesome states and so many incredible cities throughout our country. So some of the people that were part of this process from all around the country, can't thank you enough for your interest in the National High School Hall of Fame, and Mayor Ed to end up here in Brook Park, Ohio, and your vision here for this development and the transformational change that we're making in our region, that we're making for our state, and for the National High School Hall of Fame to be one of the early people to be committed and be part of this. I couldn't be any more honored. And as a guy who was proud to go to the University of Miami and win a national championship because I wasn't overly recruited here in Ohio, because I would have stayed here as a mommy's boy, but then go play 12 years in the NFL and be blessed to play in some super cool games here in Cleveland, and then to go and get a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys, play 12 years in the NFL, so many super cool games. But I so remember more distinctly my high school sports and my high school games. And I look out, Coach, and I see what you're doing with the Titans as you're getting ready for camp start next week. And the core foundation of really what I believe I stand for, and I believe a lot of us stand for, really epitomizes and core resides in what I believe happens with high school football. Some of our high school coaches and teachers, and the lessons we learn, and the camaraderie and the bonds that we build really reside within high school. And I use the phrase, and we kind of use the phrase now with the National High School Hall of Fame, not because I went to the University of Miami with You Matter, but it's so important today in our society with so much maybe selfishness going on, and people really realizing with anxiety and sometimes depression and mental illness going on top of some of the pressures in society, especially with kids, but even us adults, to let them know they matter. And self-confidence and self-esteem is such a big part of all of us and how we're able to really feel good about ourselves. So when we're able to instill self-confidence, self-esteem into young men and young women so that they could come out and be the future of our great country, and here in a great state like Ohio, can't think of a better place and a better place now for us to make this transformational change. So thank you, Mayor Ed. Thank you, Dave, and everybody here for having this vision. And thank you, Lamont, for having the vision and picking for somebody that had so many choices coming from Michigan and had probably 10 choices in other places around the country to to end up here and choosing Brook Park, I just think is another chip that shows what we're doing in Northeastern Ohio. And again, you're making a transformational change in our state, and I'm so proud to be part of it. God bless you. You matter.
Thanks, Bertie. Appreciate those great words. At this time, I would like to introduce 2023 National High School Football Hall of Fame inductee and one of the coolest dudes I know, Ray Freeman.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ray Freeman. I want to thank you, Dave. Bernie's my actual Hall of Fame colleague, and he does say you matter, so he's got me saying it. But I want to thank this Brook Park Council. I know the hard work you guys do. I want to thank you for your vision. Mayor Ed, I want to thank you for allowing us to come here, and you're over 18,000 residents. So it's huge what you're doing here in Brook Park. On those times when you're in 7th or 8th grade, like me and Bob and Bernie, we thought about playing on that big field. I know I did. I looked through the gates and I said, one day, our actual announcer, which is Sam Bellator, would call my name, the golden voice. He would say, Ray Freeman touchdown. And I had about 30 of them in high school, so he called my name a lot in high school. But that's when you smell that popcorn bubbling in the stands, and you hear the band roaring, and you hear your cheerleaders cheering, getting ready to bust through that banner to play, with your friends, to play interstate rival across and play those guys. But to be in this actual National High School Football Hall of Fame, it's an honor. It's an actual, I call it the club. Me and Bob and Andre and Bernie, we're in a club. We're in a club with us because we think about football. We talk about it. Since 1875, over 150 years of high school football. That's in our DNA. That's in America. We have over 1 million children, boys and girls. I go to high school football games all across the state, and I see more little girls, well, not little girls, but girls playing football, and I like to see it. Our sport is changing. It is definitely changing, but I'm proud to be here. I want to thank you, Ed, and your council for even opening up your Brook Park to us, and you guys matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. At this time, I'd like to introduce radio personality and our induction ceremony host, Mr. Kenny Rowe.
My man.
First of all, I was telling Mayor Orcutt that my career started about 40 years ago in Brook Park, Ohio, graduating from Baldwin Wallace College. Wow. And I worked for, I believe it was called Complexa Cable back then. And the council members, do they still broadcast your council meetings? No, thank goodness. Because they took 3 or 4 hours back then. Everybody got up there and they had their soapbox, and that was part of what I did in order to do the games on Friday night. Right? That was the job duties. That was part of my listening. So I would suffer through some of those council meetings that took forever just so on Friday nights we could go to a local high school stadium and bring you one of the area's top high school games. So it's really cool for me when I got the call from Russell and said, hey, we're going to have the National High School Football Hall of Fame moving to Brook Park, Ohio. It took me back. Right? My career started there, and here we are about 40 years later, and Brook Park, Ohio is going to be the home of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. So Mayor and everybody else on council, congratulations. You've picked up a gem. This is something that is so special for me as a media member to be around greatness like this. It started out on the high school level and transformed to the college level and even into the pros. But going back to high school, there's nothing like Friday Night Lights. There's something special about it. And I know this is for the entire country, all 50 states. But as Bernie said, there's something special about football Friday nights in Ohio. There just is. And it's been an honor for me to MC the last two ceremonies, to introduce the likes of these guys that are up here on the dais with us, but also the Pony Express in back-to-back years, Eric Dickerson and Craig James, and to hear their stories about high school football. And there's something special about taking that trip down memory lane that we all love to do, whether you played it or you watched it. And Ray, you were talking, the smell of the popcorn in the air, the band playing, the visiting team and their fans on one side, yours on the other. There's something special about high school football, and it's really neat for grown men to reflect back 30, 40, 50 years, and they remember it like that, like it was yesterday. Scoring that touchdown, throwing that touchdown pass, getting that sack, whatever it was to win a big game. So this is something that is very special. Mayor and the city of Brook Park, you're going to love this, and I'm honored to be a part of it, emceeing the event, and I look forward to the next one in July of 2026. Thanks for having me.
Before I introduce our last speaker, I also want to acknowledge another Hall of Famer, class of 2025, and Cleveland area guy, Mr. Andre Smith. And for our last speaker, we have Cleveland Browns player, 2024 National High School Football Hall of Fame inductee, and champion wrestler. I want you to know that. Mr. Bob Golding.
Thank you very much. Wrestling's probably the only reason I ended up with the Browns. They said, you suck as a linebacker. Would you play nose tackle? I got no job. So, yeah. Anyway, I want to thank everybody, city council, mayor, all this. Because I know when we first went into the Hall of Fame and got the idea from Lamont and everybody that it was going to be happening, it was, you can think a lot of things. You can think, okay, it's going to be great, or hey, it's high school. That was just kind of fun. But looking at the way it's developing, seeing the players that were coming back, it really said a lot for where this is going, and gives a lot for looking at the guys that have, they've played football pretty much all their lives. I mean, when you see somebody in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and then he gets put in the National High School Football Hall of Fame, you realize, wow, all the way up. Then you see others of us that played in high school, but we never got to the Hall of Fame. And so you think, did I just start sucking somewhere along the way? Either way, that's my own personal problem. But, it's one of those things that everybody had their reason for starting. Everybody has their story. My dad played football in Canada for a bunch of years, and I used to, as a child, I guess he used to go out to the fields and watch him work out, and every time I saw him do stuff, I said, I'm going to try that. And so it was his background, and when I finally said I was going to get into Little League, or into CYO, he bought a tackling dummy and put it in the backyard, so I had to do like 45 minutes of practice before I went to practice. Lucky me. But we all have motivation. Sometimes we got in it, start getting in it because your friends were in it. And it is, although I don't remember all the games, it has to be known. I do know that we had face masks, so we weren't that old. But it was, just knowing where everybody came from different places, from different motivations, all the different things that put them together, and just see how that variety of guys all ended up in college or the NFL. They all had that goal. And it just, I guess more than anything else, it says a lot for a game of football, too. So, without any more ado, I'd like to see if anybody's thinking about a CYO Hall of Fame. Oh, no, hold on a second. Hold on. You know what? You matter. For a guy that's at Notre Dame, went to Notre Dame, you don't want to hear that. We had a history with Miami. We didn't know they called it the U back then. I think back then it was just, I don't know. Bernie, did you get the name?
No, I actually was thinking about I thank Notre Dame for starting my career. And that isn't a Catholic versus the convicts, is it?
September 1st, Labor Day, Monday night, Notre Dame going back against the University of Miami. I ordered that online, and it was only $12. But I just thought it was kind of cool. I listened to you talk about University of Miami all the time, so I had to get back somehow. And I was trying to find a way to do the ND logo, but I broke my finger, and it's just not going to work. But anyway, thank you, everybody. Can't wait to see this thing develop. And with all the great people that are here, and want it to be an amazing place. Thank you.
Before I close, I want to acknowledge someone else that's here. I believe Lamont's mother, Miss Dolores Robinson, I believe is here. Mrs. Robinson, are you here? Are you present? I don't see her.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. She is a longtime resident of Warrensville Heights. She put down roots there over 55 years ago, along with her husband Clarence, who proudly served 30 years in the county engineers building. So thank you for coming. In closing, I want to say again, we are just delighted to be here. We know that this is going to be a premier sports and entertainment destination in the entire country. We intend to draw 100,000 unique visitors here to the Brook Park area every year with our field trips, our induction week, our clinics, our camps, our tournaments, our film festivals. And all these events are going to be promoted and aired on our streaming network, making the National High School Football Hall of Fame a year-round destination. Be sure to look for our announcement in September. We're going to announce the 2026 nominees that month. And I want to invite you all to attend the 2026 induction ceremony to be held here at Brook Park on July 11th. Again, I want to thank the Mayor and the City of Brook Park for welcoming us here. We are so excited about what this is going to be, and we just can't wait until you see what we have in store. Thank you, everyone.
No, I got thrown out of school.